Hello SKMB family. I hope this video finds you in good health and enjoying the early days of spring. May you know the joy of the Lord, and may that joy be a strength in your walk with Jesus. Although we see light at the end of this pandemic tunnel, there are still a few battles we yet face. And so I call you to keep your eyes on Jesus and keep your eyes on the mission of advancing the gospel and making disciples. You know, God will honor such a posture in your heart. I want to share very briefly the priorities for me in 2021, and they will be the following. One, to increase my in-person connections with the SKMB constituency. Two, to help churches and camps navigate post-COVID ministry. Three, to help churches in their review of the Common Understanding and Common Covenant document. 4, to create a discipleship ecosystem picture as to how our resources and how our ministries work together to support churches and camps in making disciples. And lastly, 5, to increase membership on our ministry teams. That being said, I have some good news to report. We have a person applying to serve on our executive board who brings much wisdom, experience, a gift, and gifting to the role. And that will complete our entire executive board team. So we hope to announce a name in early April. I also want to share that I have convened an international Zoom call for mid-April to discern a ministry opportunity for Pastor Chiruza from Mission Pentecostal Church in Regina. ICOM, MCC, SKMB, Parliament Community Church, and Multiply will meet to explore an ambassadorial role for Pastor Chiruza to both Africa and American Swahili speaking faith communities who are not right now denominationally aligned. SKMB has the opportunity to invest in this collaborative work of advancing the gospel and unifying faith communities worldwide. So stay tuned for more news about that in April. Finally, our executive board will soon begin engaging churches on the Common Understanding and Common Covenant review, the document that was introduced in this past assembly. I want to work with our executive board in providing a church process template for conducting such a review. Likely this template will be available to churches in May. Now, the Common Understanding and Common Covenant document was drafted by conference leaders as directed by the delegates in Assembly 2020. So it comes at the request of grassroots members of the SKMB community. These leaders who drafted this initial document are also part of the grassroots membership of our SKMB family. Now is the time for the rest of our Saskatchewan constituency to engage with this document. The Common Understanding and Common Covenant document, it's really important to note that it came not because of any trouble with specific churches or conflict situations. This document came out of a desire to clarify our collective mission and the core foundations undergirding it. Such clarity around identity and mission is very weak in our SKMB family at present. There is not a unifying voice around who we are and what we're about. The Common Understanding and Common Covenant is presented to address that and to bring us together with one voice and on one mission. Now, although it possesses a call to accountability and investment, it is not intended as a tool for exclusion. And that's important to understand as well. It is about a rally cry for full-on participation. There is strength in unity, and there's power in collaboration. And for that to happen, we need to know who we are together and what we want to do together. That is the heartbeat of the Common Understanding and Common Covenant document. So God bless us all as we seek to review it in this next year. Well, that's all for me at this present time. There's a video that's attached to this one that shares a conversation I had with the executive director, the provincial director, I should say, of the Manitoba Mennonite Brethren Conference. And so I want to share that with you as well. And so stay tuned for that. It'll be coming up shortly. His name is Cam Prieb, and he is indeed a colleague and friend. As far as I'm concerned, God bless you, and God make you an incredible blessing to others. Hello, SKMB family. Good to be with you once again. I have the privilege today to be with a friend and colleague, Cam Prieb, who is the provincial director of the Manitoba Mennonite Brethren Churches. Cam, good to see you today.
Good to see you, Phil.
The relationship between our provinces has been growing. We've recently agreed to allow Manitoba to help us with our pastor's salary grid and creating that and distributing that for our needs here in this province. And Manitoba's also welcomed us to join in their event called Posture Shift. That's happening in the fall, and more details about that will be coming up later in the summer. But Cam, can you just maybe share from your perspective our growing relationship?
Yeah, for sure. Thanks for having me here, Phil. Good to chat with you as always. Yeah, and maybe I'll just add, like you mentioned, a couple of things there that we've been talking about, working together, and maybe I'll add a couple more. One of the things that I've been learning from you in regards to the developmental leadership team that you've had going on in your province for a while. It sounds like they're doing some great work in regards to talking specifically about leadership development and how they can pay attention to that with your churches. And so I've been learning and watching and observing, and we're dreaming of ways that we might be able to implement some of those things here. I'm excited about that. Also, we have a training quarterly. We do a training day for our leaders and pastors, and we call it Nuts and Bolts. It's kind of a resourcing, kind of equipping time. So that's something we've been talking about our next few times together, connecting, having you join us. And so Saskatchewan and Manitoba getting together to share that time. Certainly, it's one of the gifts of Zoom. We've experienced this sense of we can find all kinds of things that we can now do together that maybe we wouldn't have dreamed of previously. And another something I'm thankful for is a couple of weeks ago we had our AGM, our assembly time, and so Phil, thanks for being a part of that. I invited you to be a workshop leader, and so we had pastors and leaders spend some time with you, learning from you about the challenges and hopes that you've been witnessing and observing, and that was a good time of learning together. So yeah, these are some of the things going on.
Hey, thank you, Cam. And it was a real privilege to be able to share with you folks in Manitoba at your assembly. In the last couple of seconds here, Cam, is there where do you see the trajectory of our relationship and our collaboration going?
Yeah, I don't know. It excites me to think of what could be. And I would say both, like formally, the things that we've mentioned are some of the maybe ways that we can build into ways of connecting and learning together. But even I think of part of it is even just our growing relationship as we hear and discover what each other, what's going on in our neighboring provinces. I think there's just all kinds of ways that we can continue to learn and grow together, support one another, and the impact that might be as we build those relationships. So I'm excited.
Hey, great. Good news stuff. Thanks, Cam, for taking the time to join me today and join our SKMB family. God bless you as you continue to serve in Manitoba.
Awesome. Thanks. Blessings to you as well.
Okay. Bye-bye.